Hi, everyone. Kyra Schaefer here with As You Wish Publishing, and we are doing our Wednesday Wow. And we're just working through a few technical issues right now to get Jean church online with us. So pretty exciting. I love technology. So what I want you to all know is I'm going to go ahead and read you a little bit from Jeannie. One of the things that I found was really cool about Jeannie's chapter, she wrote for When I Rise, I Thrive. And but I just want to read the first part while we're kind of working through all of these technical things. Hey, Ginger. While we're working through all these technical things, but she really specializes in divorce and mediation and helping people to find that balance. And so I'll read her bio in a little bit, but and I'll check back and see where we're at with Jean. So it's her chapter is called Severed Parts. And I don't know, this just intrigued me the way this was written. Just going to quickly. Oh. All right, so we continue to have some some technical difficulties. Oh my goodness, the show must go on, Jeannie says. All right, so let me work with this for just 1 second. Let's see if she can try her phone. I know the phones work a lot of times, right? Let's see. So, but I do want to read while she's working through that. So it's called Severed Parts, and it says the first divorce recorded in the U.S. colonies was that of Anne and Dennis Clark, which is funny because that's my maiden name, in 1643, Massachusetts Bay Colony. The first recorded European history was the infamous divorce of Henry VIII and his marriage to Catherine of Aragon. What caused the Clark divorce was Dennis abandoning Anne for another woman with whom he also had children. Henry VIII's reason was that Catherine had not given him a male heir. Henry did not divorce his next wife, Anne Boleyn. He had her beheaded instead. I want to be clear that I'm not a proponent of beheading as a form of divorce. That's just so funny to me. However, the very word divorce means separation, severance, a breaking off. If you've ever experienced divorce or separation, you may have noticed that the act of severing an intimate relationship can feel sudden, like you are missing parts of yourself. Anne Boleyn lost her head. And so I want to get Jeannie on here so we can chat about opening to love. And so we'll see what happens. If not, we'll reschedule it for another time, and I'll just talk to you about what I think. If anybody wants to hear that. Hey, Joni. Hey, Marianne. Hey, guys. I'm so happy you're joining us. Thank you so much. Let's see. So when it comes to love, it's such a convoluted word. It's so hard to nail down in one respect, because people who love us or people who say they love us many times don't know what love is, or they don't know how to feel love or express love, or because they have their own history with love. They have their own ancestry when it comes to love, and they have their own belief systems that have played in and come into the situation. And so we have all of these built-on beliefs around love. And so when we take and I really want, Jeannie, hold on, it might be working. It's working. It's working. Hold on.
It's working. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm on my phone now. The phone worked.
Perfect. We matched today. We decided to have the same. Listen, guys, if you want to know what love is, okay, love is me hugging Jean after coming to Colorado and teaching a workshop, writer's workshop with her and our Colorado writers. And I was like, I hugged her and I was like, I just want you to come all the way in. Just come with me, and then we'll just be together forever. That's kind of.
Thank you. Okay.
So, yeah. So, Jean, How you doing, girl? I love
Oh my
technology.
Yeah, little technology snafu. And I dig this. This is so great. And I've just never used SteamYard before. So, but anyway, I'm here. I made it.
We're here. So I'm going to do a little brief introduction for you. I was trying to start talking about love, on my own here, and I don't know how well I was doing, but we're going to learn from the experts, meaning Jean Church. All right,
my gosh. Wow.
Jean Church is a divorce mediator, somatic life coach, conflict coach, podcaster and writer, and healer. She has successfully helped hundreds of couples achieve a mutual understanding and peace about how to separate their marriages. Jean has often been accused of being too optimistic or giggling too much. Impossible. She is passionate about inspiring people to radically heal themselves as they go through a separation or divorce when she's not meditating. You can find her communing with nature and her Gong or on a shamanic journey somewhere.
Yeah.
Jean, welcome to the program. We're going to have our Wednesday wow now.
Awesome. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. So good to see you.
So good to see you too. So good to hear your voice. So good. So let's talk about, and I read a little bit of of your chapter, the severed parts.
I have mine here too. I have all three of them.
Yeah, perfect. I was just reading the first part because this was what introduced me to you in the very beginning, which was talking about, I loved reading your article because I was my favorite line, and they already heard because I already read it. I want to be clear. I'm not a proponent of beheading as a form of divorce. Fair enough.
That still holds true.
So, Jean, let's talk about love. Let's talk about opening up to love. Tell me about it.
Wow. It's so funny. I think that's one of the things I said. You said, what could we talk about? And I was like, always relationship. We can always talk about relationship coming together, relationships, having to work at relationships, loving relationships, endings. Of course, that's what I work in, so when there's an ending, there's also a new beginning. So, for people, and it's so funny when you say, so talk about love. I think for me, I think it goes beyond all of that. So, I work with a lot of people who are separating their lives, and you can still hear the care and the love. And, you often I will wonder, well, what really happened? And that's not the work I'm doing with them. So we don't get to really explore that. But you can hear it in their voice. And, I don't know, I think love is something that you can give it even when you're separating is what's possible.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It doesn't go away. I don't think it goes away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So when someone comes to you and they're like, hey, because you said they're already in that process, or they're already in that place. And if there is some kind of animosity or difficulty or conflict, what are some of the first things you say to people to help get them back to a more loving space, or even just a loving space within themselves?
Mm-hmm.
That's a question.
That is a question. Oh my gosh, that is a really good question. And typically what there is to say is really acknowledging how hard it is that they're in this place of having to separate their lives. I've said it in the last couple of weeks, probably at least 3 or 4 times. And really there's next acknowledging where they've been together. So, and I take a moment to, just reflect back to them what they've, maybe they haven't heard that I've been contributing so much. And actually the other person is saying, I've been contributing a lot too. And so there might be an opportunity just to have them be heard. Like, you've been contributing this to the marriage, and you've been contributing this. you each see that you've been contributing a lot and it's meant a lot to each of you? Like, really, those are the things that get said. And then there is softness and there is a softening and there are tears that follow.
Yeah, that I can feel that. I feel that right there. Because this wouldn't necessarily just go in alignment with romantic relationships. It could go in alignment with all kinds of relationships that we have.
Yes. Yeah. I think, especially with everything that's going on, it takes something extra to remind first yourself that you're doing the best you can. I'm doing the best I can. And then to get back to center and then be able to re-engage with people and acknowledge they're doing the best they can too.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to navigate now that there wasn't before, even though it was under the surface. It's all just under there ready to bubble up.
Yeah.
Whether it be a virus or something else. And so I think that's big, is to take a moment to sit back and let each of us just acknowledge we're each doing the best we can.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that can be really hard. If I was thinking about this today, a lot of people's lives are pretty private. We get through the day, we figure it out. But I was thinking about what we don't see and what we don't experience or people don't let us in on because they're just working through it themselves. And so, like I have stuff going on in the background and I think that a lot of people do, and a lot of fears, a lot of concerns. And so when we're driving down the street, instead of road raging around someone, just considering, and this is kind of a really common thing now in the personal development world, is just seeing from another person's point of view or perspective and going, they might have some stuff going on. Let me give them a break. Even though I need to release too, do I need to release on them?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. That's it. And I think if it's possible to get there to that point where, can I give someone else a break? I love that, because we don't have no idea what someone else is dealing with, and give each other a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
I always start with and I've been noticing this a lot lately. I think I've been practicing it a lot more lately. I always start with myself. So I don't know about you, but if you start with yourself and give yourself a little bit of a break, it's so much easier to give anybody else a little bit of a break.
Yeah, no kidding. that is like
go down.
Huge.
Like that's
Yeah.
And I think that's mostly what I love about what I get to do is I get to practice being defenseless. It doesn't sound really strong and like really, powerful.
Oh no,
the really
hardest. I think it's one of the hardest things we can do.
Yeah.
It's a Course in Miracles principle, and my defenselessness, my safety lies. It's so.
Yeah.
The big one. It's a big one.
It really is, because that's like, we're like, it's ingrained in us to defend ourselves, to protect our hearts, going back to love, right? There's so much protection around the heart that starts to happen. And if you let the defenses down, you're no less exposed than you were before. No less or more. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, that does. That makes perfect sense, because that's really the truth of it. It's if anything, I think the misperception is, well, I'll be on guard. So if something happens, I'll got my dukes up. I'm ready to roll.
I'm ready. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, well, yeah, but being defenseless makes you very slippery, I think. It's like not a whole lot can latch on or hook in or, control you. Cause it's like, I'm just kind of doing my thing. Yeah.
Yes. And being that, actually people have this huge opportunity to come as they are. you know,
and who we are is enough. Yeah.
Right? Like, I know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one too. But yeah, really, when people come and sit in mediation, and now everything's on Zoom right now. So when people come, if there's one party, a mediator, who's neutral and defenseless, that, I think, ripples out a little bit. That's my contention. That's my, that's my commitment. So that's it.
So now, does that mean, that they aren't going to get what they want? Like, does that mean that they have to be the pushover or the people pleaser or the doormat?
No, they certainly don't have to be. That's the other part of this, is that what the potential is that when someone is normally the doormat or the people pleaser, they're actually empowered to not be that. They're empowered to actually try on being a decision maker and being someone who knows how to do that. So, yeah.
So there's no attack. There's no victimhood. There's just, I'm going to make choices.
Yeah.
For me.
That's what's possible. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Good. So have you had experience? Can you, I think everybody has their own definition of love, but what is your definition? If you were to define it? I know it's a hard one.
Okay. So what's right there when it comes to love is acceptance. There is belonging. There is forgiveness. So it's so funny to describe love. What I just thought was, wow, love is almost indescribable.
Yeah.
It's really, I can describe it with a bunch of other words, and it starts to diminish it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. When you really touch, we've been a student of Real Love for a long time. It's a book by Greg Bayer, and they have all this stuff. But when you touch real love, which is, to me, is love without expectation, or having no expectation on another person to make you happy, or to do what you want them to do, and you just allow them to be them and make their choices, and I allow myself to make my choices. And when those choices coincide, we're like, what's up? We're just playing. Love, right? That would be my definition of love. That's it. That's it. But it gets hairy in there, people have beliefs around, but I think you're right. Once you touch it, once you feel it, once you know it, there's really no going back, and you really don't accept anything less. Or I accept very little, other than somebody who just accepts me exactly the way that I am. And so it does become much more difficult to define and box and put in those words. That's a huge thing. Yeah.
I think if I, feel into my own experience, the more I try and define it or do something with it, again, I diminish it. So, yeah. And I can see that, I can see, looking back, if I look at marriages, when I look back at my marriages, there was never, for me, there was never quite a loss of love. There was all this other thinking that happened. And a lot of other thinking and manipulation, a lot of other things, a lot of circumstance. But interestingly enough, I could look back and say it wasn't about loving anyone less. They may or may not believe that, my former spouses. Actually, yeah, two would.
Girl, go on, girl. Two of them. Two of the 15, at least, probably. They do. They're good. They get me.
It's not 15.
They don't know that.
Oh my
I
God.
want to get letters. I want to get letters based
I was
off
going
of
to say, maybe I should like really, play this up. Maybe I should play that. So.
Oh God, that's funny. No. But Jean is an expert. So we gotta honor that.
Sure. Like a 360 view. There's no doubt about it.
She got her 10,000 hours. It's all. Oh man, I don't know if this is getting better or worse. So
better.
So when so for yourself, your own development, for your own, healing, and when you come across things that don't feel loving and feel like they put you in a position where you have to make choices or hard choices or whatever, is there anything that you could suggest to people that you do that helps you to stay a little more open to love or more open to being more loving?
Wow, that's another big one.
I don't know where they're coming from. They're just
so there are quite a few things. Yeah, there's a few things that I do, and I think the key is that it's almost like a daily practice, so that it's not there's not as much work involved when I need to get back to myself or make a decision. I think when I'm experiencing, it's so funny when I'm this is good. So when I'm experiencing that that it's a tough decision, or it's something that love is not present for me. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
love is not present in this like offering or this decision or an upset or a circumstance, right?
Yeah.
Any kind of conflict. I generally, because I'm always checking in with myself every day. And so, and that happens through journaling. It happens through meditating. It happens through, other metaphysical ways. It happens through sound. And movement. So I would say, pick your poison, but whether it be any one of those ways, but taking time, nature is a big one for me as well. If you take yourself on a walk, right? Take yourself on a walk. And I mean, like, you can leave your phone behind or turn it off.
Unless
you're giggling is so great.
She is hiking the snow-driven tundra, and out in the middle of nowhere, it seems like whenever you take a selfie, and I'm like,
oh my God, yeah,
where is she?
Yep.
Where is she right now? She's like in the Arctic, and like there's going to be like polar bears coming out. I don't even know if polar bears are in the Arctic, but
I think so.
Yeah,
some left. There's some left.
So take yourself for a walk through the frozen tundra.
Yes, wherever it is. It could be in the dead of winter or not. But get yourself alone, and maybe even get yourself alone where you're typically not. So a place where you normally are not. So that you're not kind of beholden to the thoughts and the energy and the everything that might be there that is just, you're surrounded by. Like, I love my spaces that I create, but I really need to get away and out. And if you go out in nature, you have an opportunity to engage with some other, see what happens is, Kyra, when you go out in nature, you get immediately connected to love experience. So imagine, like, every time I go out, I am instantly surrounded by love. And that is an instant reminder in nature, that I am surrounded by love. That what if all this is a love, right? A love matrix.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, this is getting crazy, right? So It is. It's like, it is a love matrix is what's possible.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I'm walking in that, then I must be part of that. So I am that. but I can make choices that are more grounded in my center or my core or my soul, or even connection through spirit has an opportunity to be expressed. So get yourself alone so that you can just think about, even ask the question, what if I am already love? There's nothing being taken from me. There's nothing that I don't already have that I need. I've really been engaged in these conversations lately too. So thanks for going into my psyche and pulling them out.
Went into the gene matrix.
Yeah. Didn't call it the, really like, and get in touch with what is it that I'm bumping up against? What is it that I need to pay attention to that needs my nurturing about me? What do I need? What is needed? So
Todd is
like that.
Todd is a nature guy, so you guys might know Todd Schaefer, my husband. That felt my better half.
Yay, Todd.
He goes out into nature, and that's his touchstone. So it is definitely, and he likes to explore, and he likes to go and do different things. Y'all would have a great time together, and I would be really happy to not go. And so so everybody has their own way of finding their alone time too. So what I've been doing lately is I've been doing yoga, and I'm shaking my head because it's so silly, because I've never done much of that. And I'm like, stretching? Why would anybody do that? That's ridiculous. That seems silly. And then I'm like getting all this oxygen, and like my arms are getting toned, and like I'm like, oh, this is a good thing. This is why this is a thousands of years old technology of personal enrichment and health. Duh.
This ancient stuff, it works.
Ancient stuff. They sure knew what they were doing. Ginger says, she was agreeing with you on the love comments that you made. She said, Ginger says, I'd love to go out into nature and ride. That is a place of love for me.
Yeah.
So I think she rides motorcycles.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So there's lots of things.
Yeah. It's out there.
Yeah.
It may be the yoga thing for people. It may be breath work. Just getting some alone time. I think that's the most important aspect of it, is that it's something that you do where you can just be with yourself and love you as you are.
Yeah. I think that the unconditionalness of love, it has to start here.
It does.
I find it difficult, if I'm not full, to really honestly, totally in integrity, say that I am in that moment loving anyone else. I really can't say that I'm loving anyone else. I will have an expectation. I will want them to show up a certain way, or I will say, you're not showing up for me. That's why I'm not full or happy. And it becomes very limiting, and it can be really dangerous in a relationship. And I think I know for Todd and I, we definitely ran up against that kind of towards the beginning of our relationship, where we were like, okay, what are we doing here? If we're not speaking kindly to each other, we have all these expectations of each other that are going to be unmatched. It's just impossible. And, what are we doing? And so sometimes I think having those hard, tough conversations in the beginning of a relationship, or even as you go along, I mean, he and I still have that conversation of, are we meant to be together? Is this the right thing? Like, our relationship is our priority. So, work doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. It's just us. Yeah. And so, it's like, if that's not working, everything else is going to fall apart.
Yeah.
So, I don't know where I was going with that. I just wanted to give a shout out to my homeboy.
I know. That was incredible. And you know what? I just some things stood out in what you just said too. And one was kindness, and the other was openness and vulnerability, to be able to have those kinds of conversations with each other. I mean, really, to be able to say, are we supposed to be together right now? Are we supposed to? Rather, or it really engaging in those rather than avoiding them. I think it's massive.
Mm-hmm.
I have it in that's a wishing, right? That's a wishing that I had the capacity to do more of that in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah. I mean, I think anybody,
yeah.
if we could find a way to be more loving, it would be fantastic. And even if the relationship fails.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I think that's big. And I think the kindness part too. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It doesn't mean we don't fight or argue or
heck no. Yeah.
That's
you.
part of it.
Thank you, rainbows and puppies and kittens in relationship. I am sure there are. Okay, let me just take that back. Maybe they're out there, and I'm sure they are. And I don't mean to sound so cynical. It's just, I also think there's a lot of beauty in the chaos of it too.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. It's all why we're here. I mean, we're playing in the illusion, enjoying ourselves,
That's it. That's
right.
So cool. Yes.
All right. So let's see. Is there anything else you would like to share with our millions of adoring listeners and followers here? I'm speaking it into creation.
That didn't even make me nervous.
And the 3 or 5 that stayed with us this whole time, I'm grateful for. What'd you say?
I said, that didn't even make me nervous. Millions, okay. Millions of viewers, right?
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the 5 or 6 that have been hanging out with us so long. I mean, I am like, oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited. I love you guys so much. Ginger, Joni, Marianne. Oh my gosh, you guys are my rock stars, But do you have any kind of, hold on, Ginger has one more thing to say. She said, after 3 failed marriages, I found that respect and honoring each other was the key.
Yes. And that was my number, Ginger, 3, not 15, 3. So thank you for saying that. Thank you for sharing that. You're, my sister with the 3 marriages. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. And all of the wisdom and insight and courage and all that comes along with that. It's powerful. And Ginger says, I'm on number 4 now.
Oh, that's so cool.
Play up
about that.
Yeah, well,
do number 4.
Her husband,
in terms of marriage, but yeah, Ginger, go
girl. Her husband is really great. So I mean, you're right. You 4 times the charm. All right. Any closing words for our friends here?
Closing words. Like, I don't know.
Thoughts, feelings, insights.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Still go on for another half an hour.
Yeah. Let me just follow that. Feelings. Feel the feelings. I know we hear it a million trillion times. We hear it all over the place. And there are ways to feel the feelings for sure. And don't avoid the feelings. Don't avoid what needs attention. And the quicker the attention is given, the quicker it'll pass. My mom used to say to me, and this is what I'm going to leave you with. My mom, who has Alzheimer's, she used to, and she still actually says it once in a while. She used to always say to me, Jean, this too shall pass.
Yeah.
Right. And it actually does put me in defenselessness. Like, I'm just defenseless. Like, this too shall pass in this moment. And I just want to honor you and thank you for who you are in the world, Kyra, you and Todd.
Oh,
and that's just what's coming out. And that's what's here in the moment, because this too shall pass. And thank you for the opportunity to be in 3 beautiful books. And I look forward to more of them. And do you notice how quiet I just got? I just got quiet. Thank you for being quiet with me. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. This too shall pass. And presence the joy as often as possible.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Ginger's saying nice things too.
Yay, Ginger. Love you, Ginger. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like avoiding a wound. It just festers and grows into a horrible mess. And then Ginger was saying that I'm a rock star. So,
Yes. Yeah.
A little bit of a conflicting energy text there, but I still love it.
It's all good. Festering mess, and then you are a rock star.
But and I think that, I mean, if we can all get to that place where it's a horrible mess, and yeah, hey dude, you're a rock star. Like there's ways to do that. It would be amazing. Yes. And Joni, thank you for joining us too. Jean, I call you Jeannie. I will always call you Jeannie forever.
That's okay. Yep.
I just adore you. Thank you so much for being with us. You know, Jeannie is a best-selling author. How can people reach you if they need to?
They can reach me either Facebook or Instagram at True Direction Divorce, also truedirectiondivorce.com. And yeah, if you want to email me, you can email me at truedirectiondivorce@gmail.com. There are all the ways, but it's all through True Direction Divorce.
All right. Awesome. So if you want to get connected with Jean Church, please reach out to her. I know from personal experience, just having her in my life makes my life better. And I appreciate you so much coming on. And thank you guys for listening and watching. And those of you who are going to be watching the replay, and please, if you're on YouTube, give us a like, go ahead and subscribe or thumbs down, whatever. I don't care. Like, just be real. If you got feelings, I understand.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Jean, don't go away because I just
okay.
Touch base with you. And I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast because I don't do that in any kind of weird, awkward way ever. So I'll do that. Again, thank you guys so much.
Bye.